Hi, it's Bill Hitchcock, and this is just the fourth video clip working with our NBA database. I want to cover just some real simple queries and a report just to get you going on this. It won't take very long, and let's dive right into it. All right, before we saw if we want to create a form, what you do is you highlight one of the tables, click on Create, you click on Form, and that's what we did. Notice I didn't do the form wizard, I didn't do any of these other options here, just do form, that will work. Right, but now on a query instead, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the create command, and there's two choices. There's a query wizard or there's the query design. And normally what I do is I just dive right into the query design as opposed to doing the wizard. So let's choose that. And when you choose the query design, it asks you which table do you want to make your query. And a query is just like a question. It's a way to filter some data, it's a way to sort data, it's a way to join data from a couple different tables. Usually we don't want to get all the data from a table and display that, because some of these tables might have hundreds of, if not thousands of records. But in our database, we've got a fairly small database, and it won't hurt to just print out some of the things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one for, actually, let's start out with the division, because it'll be short and sweet and you can see what it does. So I'll add the division table, close this up, and the easiest query that you could make is right up at the top here. There's this little asterisk. That's a wildcard. And if you double click on that, it will say just print out every single field that's in this table and give me all the data. So if I run this, click on this little exclamation point, there it is. It's pretty much like just if I would have opened up the table itself. It's just giving you all the fields, all the records. That's fine. Let's close this and we'll save it. And we'll call this one our div query 1 all data. So we know what that is. All right, success. We got one to work. Let's try to create another one. Let's go to Create, Query Design. We'll stay with our division and add this in. Close it. And let's show the division name. So I can double click on division name. And I'm going to double click on the conference. And we'll run that. And it's pretty similar to what we had last time. The only thing that's missing is I didn't bother putting out that code in front of it. So I've got the divisions, I've got the conference. That works just fine. So let's close this one and let's save it. And we'll call this div query 2 just name and conference. So we've got that. All right, let's try another one. Create, query design, add the division in, close this up. We'll add my name. So double click there, double click on conference. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort the division names in ascending order. So when we run this one, notice I've got the Atlantic, the Central, the Northwest, Pacific, Southeast, and Southwest. We could sort it that way. Or the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to View and change the design view. And rather than sorting this by division, let's sort this by the conference and see what happens when we run that. And there I've got my Eastern ones together, and then I've got the Western ones together. Now, if you want to ensure that the divisions are alphabetized within that, what you can do is change this back to design view, click once to select my field, then click and drag this over to the leftmost column. Sorting in a query basically goes from left to right. So whatever, if you're going to have several fields in here and you're going to sort them all, you just need to make them left or right, and you can put them that way. So now therefore I can sort both of these in ascending order, run it, there I've got the eastern ones together, and within eastern, there's Atlantic, Central, Southeast. For the western, Northwest, Pacific, and Southwest. So just, some real simple things that you can do with some queries. So let's save this one, and let's call it there, div query 3 division div sorted by conference. All right, so there's an example of that. Now, the second thing that I wanted to get done today was just to show you how to make a simple report. So same idea, click on create, and if you look under the reports, there's report, report design, blank report, report wizard, and labels. This is one where I would encourage you to use the wizard. It makes life a lot easier. So I'm going to choose the wizard, and then I can decide what it is that I want to make a report of. So I would like to get a list of my teams, and I want to know the team code. Sure, that'll be all right. That's that 3-character code. We'll have the city, location where they're at. We've got their name, and then let's do what division they happen to be in. Hit finish. It says, do you want to group this at all? Sure, what the heck, we'll leave that in. Let's hit next. How do we want this sorted? I want to sort it by the team code. Those are unique codes, so that'll be fine. Hit next. Hit next for the layout. What do I want to call this? I'll just call it my team list for nothing else. And hit finish. And it's churning away. There's my report. All right, so it's got the team divisions, the teams within them, and I've got a nice list that kind of shows you everything put together. And it even tells you that there's a couple pages to this report. So, all this is looking pretty good. So I'm going to close the print preview. Here it shows you in design view. When you're first working with Access, I wouldn't do a whole lot here in design view. Just kind of go with it. It'll be fine. It'll be good. I'm going to close up this field list. I really don't need that showing here. And let's try closing my report. I don't want to close Access and save everything. I just want to close the report. And there it is. There's team list when I want to run that. So hope that works for you. You should be able to create a couple different reports. Just use different data. You should be good. And that I think takes care of everything on the homework assignment.